first episode of Business and Coffee with the man, the legend, Mr. Omar Periu. Now, Omar Periu is a self-made multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire. He actually was a self-made millionaire at age 31. I mean, he was only one of the most profitable clubs in the United States, right? Can we say the name?
Not today.
Not today. Okay, well, naturally, he's an international speaker. He's one of the leading wealth training companies in the world. He owns it right now. He's a great teacher, great mentor. He has trained more than 5 million people and has worked with more than 2/3 of the Fortune 500 companies. Now, he has shared the stage with some of the great names like Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, General Colin Powell is one of my generals when I was in the military. President Ford, Larry Bird, Harvey McKay, Jim Rohn, Terry Bradshaw, Paul Harvey, Lou Holtz. I mean, and who else, man? Who else we're missing here, Mr. Omar?
Oh gosh, it's crazy how many people it's been.
Yeah,
I was on the biggest seminars in the world, Get Motivated and Success Resources.
amazing, man. He's also a member of the National Speaker Associations and inducted into the prestigious International Platform Associations. Now, he's a master teacher, master mentor. He's one of my personal mentors. I have great love for him, but I want to make sure today we're going to be talking about some of the pain points that we have in the United States and the world right now. One is to create wealth, but we want to make sure that we get inside Mr. Omar Periu mind. That brain of yours is worth billions, brother. But hey, man, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. Without further ado, let's talk about you. By the way, I also have Mr. Brock Bertolo. Brock Bertolo is one of the legs for this company too, and 360 Business Vantage and Credit Assassin. I mean, we're gonna be talking. We're gonna have some great business and coffee today. We got to stay up for later on. We got another podcast we're going to be inviting you for. Oh, but welcome, Omar.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Brock. Great to be here. Great to be on the team here, and I'm excited to be on your show and have some fun.
Awesome.
I got my coffee.
You got your coffee, man.
Yeah.
All right, Brock. Take it away, Brock.
All right. So, Omar, you are the author of From Zero to Wealth, right? So our main topic of conversation today is going to be wealth, what it means. We're going to talk a little bit about our current economy. But first, let's kind of talk about something that's been getting a lot of buzz lately, right? So this big word recession, okay? So, there's a lot of buzz. There's a lot of people talking about it. A lot of people saying that, hey, we're currently in a recession. So, in Omar's words, what exactly is a recession? What does that word mean?
Well, a recession is when people are having to spend more money than they don't have. So, for instance, interest rates. Like, for instance, if you had an interest rate of 3% on your automobile, now you're going to pay 6.5. So now your car payment doubled, right?
Yeah.
For the same car, right? Just because of the interest rates. Food is going to go up. Supplies are harder to get. Real estate is the interest rates are higher. So, you need to really get ready for it. But there's a lot of opportunity coming up. So there's going to be a lot of real estate opportunities. For instance, foreclosures, short sales, things like that. A lot of opportunities to find, fix, and flip, Airbnb, a lot of different things that you can do that will make you more. The whole thing in a recession is to have and make cash flow. You want to make cash flow. And if you're making cash flow, everything else is going to work out. But you got to prepare yourself. And what I would recommend for everyone is to, invest in your future, like education, invest in becoming better, invest in the things like you guys do, cleaning up your credit so you get better interest rates, right? And be educated on all the things that can make you money, like cleaning your credit up, like streamlining your businesses. Cut the fat. Just cut all the fat out and only do the things that are going to GTM, get you the money, get the money, right? So there's a whole, we could talk forever about this, but yeah, look, we're going into recession. We're in a recession. It's going to get. It's going to be a year, year and a half, maybe two. 23 will be the when you really feel it, and we're still going to be good. We're in the great USA and greatest country on earth, and Americans can do it. And we've got a lot of friends around us, like in Mexico and Canada,
Yeah.
and they're in recession. They're all going. Europe is going to go into recession. But the bottom line is, if you know how to find the right vehicle
Yeah.
and you learn how to generate income from that right vehicle, which you can do it, you will still thrive and survive a recession.
All right. So, and going to that, so I was reading in Forbes today that Forbes actually tells or teaches us that a recession is usually 2 quarters back to back of negative loss in the GDP. Now, if we go by that metric, that we've already been through one already, and we're about to go into the second one. I mean, you've been through recession in the past. You
Oh yeah,
made wealth in the recession. I mean, since the last war, I mean, I think a recession has happened every 5 years, if I'm correct, right?
right.
So you've been in this market for a while. You've been a professional speaker, seeing the wealth being made not only by your peers but by yourself. What would you say people need to do today in order
Well,
to prepare themselves?
get your cash flow ready.
Cash flow
And
revenue.
if you get your cash flow ready, you'll be getting the better deals. Like, you know, if a person's trying to sell their home, but they're not able to sell their home because everybody's trying to finance it, and you have cash, you can come in and get a better deal, and then make more money flipping it or renting it. So I always believe that cash is king in the recession because you don't have to count on interest rates. You don't have to count on anything. You're still going to feel the food pricing, gas pricing, anything like that. But if you have cash, the interest, which is the main thing, is not going to affect you.
Yeah, I mean, and the supply disruption too, like what had happened with Russia, every the disruption of crude oil. I mean, that's one thing that actually have affected us a lot. I mean, a lot of people didn't want to drive, but again, why have a vehicle and not drive? But at the same time, you should have some good cash flow. Otherwise, like I say, you own a job or you have a job and not a business. And this is what we hear: how you create positive cash flow going forward. Now, I see a lot of people, and people don't see it that way today. What would you tell them? I mean, I know that you wrote a book and you teach a program that allow us to expand our imagination and our mindset about business from zero to wealth. What would you tell someone to start doing mentally, physically, emotionally, to prepare themselves and to start doing the actions that they need to take today in order
Right.
to get to where they need to go tomorrow, especially be prepared. Because we don't know if our recession is really going to happen tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now. But why not prepare today? Start doing what we need to do today. So, what will you tell them to do?
Well, first of all, yeah, get yourself mentally fit, right?
Okay.
So start listening to books, audios, or music that gets your juices flowing, right? And get mentally fit because the mind is the steering wheel. The 6 inches between your ears is the steering wheel of the body. So you got to get that right first because if that's right, it will steer the body in the right way. Second, you got to get fit. Got to, whatever it is, you don't have to be we are, but I
Yeah.
work out 7 days a week. However, you can get fit to the point where you're doing 3 4 times a week, going for a walk,
Yeah.
uh, you know cardio, yoga, whatever. Yoga is really good for meditation and stretching and relaxing. Um, Number three, you got to get yourself organized. So every night before you go to sleep, you know, write down the 10 most important things you must do. Block times. I have a little saying: any entrepreneur that wakes up without a plan is unemployed. And a lot of people wake up without a plan, so they're unemployed. It takes them an hour or two to just lay out what they're supposed to be doing. They're wasted that, right?
Yeah.
So again, mind, body, and then there's one more. Well, time management, time blocking, but then there's one more: eat right. Got to eat right. The body needs good fuel to eat right. So my mentor Jim Rohn used to say, treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed, right?
Okay.
And a lot of people feed their pets better food than they feed themselves. It's crazy. I got a buddy of mine. He's a wonderful guy. I love him. And David, he's a good guy, but he doesn't take care of himself. He eats. He's very wealthy, but he eats well. He doesn't
Yeah.
eat well, meaning he eats expensive stuff, but he doesn't
Yeah.
eat them.
Not
And then
healthy.
his dog gets these boxes in the mail of like the best stuff you can eat, and his dogs and cats, and he got a dog and a cat, and these dogs are like, and the cat is like fit, but it's like,
It's
but
got its face.
dogs, when he walks the dog's walking him because he's got more energy than he does.
Wow.
But that's the four things you really got to work on,
Yeah.
and of course spirituality. Of course, got to work on your mind, your spirituality, so you can have if you're gonna meditate, you got to pray. I believe, and if we all talk about the law of attraction. To me, it begins
Yeah.
with prayer, and then it goes to the law of attraction, and then it goes from the vibration to being aware of what you need to do, taking action, doing the things you need to do, so you get the results you want.
Of course.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's massive right there.
Yeah.
Love
Now,
it. Oh, no,
Go
I'm sorry.
ahead,
Go ahead,
Brian.
Carlos.
okay,
no,
no.
So you talked about like, hey, what should we be doing, right? So what would your recommendation be for Americans out there, right? We're going through, or we're about to be going through a recession. What should people be doing with their money, or rather, how should they be investing with their money?
Well, that's a loaded question. First, find something you love, right?
Yeah.
So if you love real estate, study real estate. If you love, like some people love the market, so look at quality companies that have great management, great products, and things that people need, right?
Yeah.
And there's a good opportunity to buy things that are low right now. However, you have to be careful. For me, it's finding companies that have great leadership, great products, and don't have problems like inventory or things coming stuck on ships out in the ocean, stuff like that,
Good point.
or chips and stuff like that. So look for things that everybody needs every day, and I always look for things that aren't really duplicatable by a lot of people. So that investment is a sound investment.
That's awesome. And I know one of the main things you actually taught me is that the main thing that we need to do is invest in ourselves. Obviously, we need to
Right.
sharpen the axe before we try to take down that tree. Now, I know that, and I see so many gurus out there talking about diversify. What do you have to say about that?
I think that multiple streams of income is great.
Okay.
However, just remember, a lot of because of the internet and everything that's going on, a lot of the folks that are on there, they've gone out, they've learned the great funnels, they've learned from the best to do funnels. I'm not gonna name names because they're friends of mine. And these folks know how to build funnels and sell things. And just remember, I always tell people, if you want to be successful, get mentored by someone who does what you want to do. So, for instance, if you want to get in shape, I was a personal trainer when I was in my 20s. All right, hire a personal trainer that has a physique like you want.
Awesome.
Right? If you want to be rich, hire a mentor that has the lifestyle you want.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of good folks out there that go through a lot of these trainings and get certified, and now they're quote coaches. However, they're broke. So, study with people that can have the results you want, because results is the name of the game.
That is true. It's not activity, it's results.
That's
Right.
it.
I mean,
We
how
were
many
talking
people,
about that this morning.
Jim Rohn used to say that, he'd see these people at the events, and I was with him because I toured with him. He was a great guy. And he'd say these people would come up and he'd be all fired up. And he'd turn to me and they'd walk away. And I go, is he making any money? He says, no, Omar, he's a motivated idiot.
I'm motivated.
Pumped up, but he's got nothing going, right? It's like my mentor, Ted Murphy, used to say, big hat, no cattle, right?
Big hat, no
Big
cattle.
hat, no cattle.
That's
But
amazing.
look, there's a lot of great programs out there, but just make sure you're studying with someone that's going to get you to the end,
Of
get your
course.
results, right?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, in your experience for all these years, so many industries, and a lot of people, and you always hear from a lot of people teaching is, hey, go into something that you love. Yes, you want to have something that's it's not a job. It's more like a hobby to you, but you get paid for it. Now, knowing this too, and being in the industry for so long and seeing the recessions going on, which industries have you seen that get hit the most, and which industries should start learning how to manage one finances and credit? Because if those industries, and in my opinion, knowing credit and developing what we have developed, if we know that my market is going to get hit if something really happens, it is my job to now create not only credit
Right,
but reserves in order to be ready. This is why a lot of these companies, even when they went through COVID, they became even bigger because now they have the ability, the credit, because that's capital. That's one of the legs of actually finances in your business, to be able to now invest into the marketing that they needed. People were cooped up at home, right? And there was nothing
right,
else to do other than take care of yourself or spend your money. So that's why
exactly.
look, I myself bought so many things from Amazon that I didn't need. So
Yeah.
somebody
Hey,
made money from me.
I was buying toilet paper I wouldn't even use.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, there was a toilet paper crunch and paper towels, and
Yeah. So
but bottom line is you gotta like you said, find something you love, and
yeah,
then make sure that you are, you know, real strategic on your moves to take advantage of the recession. The
yeah,
people that are gonna really feel it most in certain areas will be the realtors. That's why I love what you guys do. You have, and the second one is lenders. So you got to clean up your credit, your business credit, so you can get the those kind of things. And I think that you got that, and you've got right now the automobile industry is not getting hammered yet because there's a lack inventory.
got it.
So I'm thinking that's going to be next year. But I think it's like a big rush. Everybody's trying to get out and have a good time and enjoy themselves, but just don't get lost on spending so much that you owe so much that you can't pay it off.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Now, Brock, I got a question for you. What do you
What's that?
think? What do you think businesses should do to prepare their credit if a
Oh,
recession happens?
well, number one is, as Omar put it, you know, they need to educate themselves, right? They need to strengthen their mind, so be it. But that's the first step. There's so many businesses out there, rather if they're small or they're large, and they just don't have the know-how, or maybe sometimes they don't have the time, or they just don't go out and actively search for those who know better than they do, right? So what I'd recommend for businesses to get ready for whatever life is going to give you, whether it's a massive recession, whether it's a minor hiccup in the road, a speed bump, if you will, is learning what to do, right? So that's going to be your biggest asset as either a small or large business owner, and that's what's going to differentiate you from being successful from those who are not.
Yeah.
That's what I would recommend.
That's
And,
great.
and again, and to caveat to that is sometimes we need to put our ego to the side as business
Right.
owners. So sometimes we know something is not working and we don't want to accept that it's not working. And what happens at the end of the day, and that biting us in the ass. So being a leader, something that I've learned, being a leader is to making other people's success easier. Meaning that you need to make sure your people get paid. You need to make sure your people are well taken care of. You need to make sure that your people have all the assets they need to be successful. And in exchange, they will do the same for you. So put your ego to the side, man or female, whoever you are. We're not going into sex or genders here, but whoever you are as a business owner, you need to put your ego to the side and be able to understand and know when something is not working. Your strength is in what you know how to do. Your weakness is where you need to look for people to help you and develop the business that you have and be able to scale and eventually create the wealth and the generational wealth that you need. Now, in the other hand, there's more than 1,700 people every day becoming millionaires. And I seen it and I heard it and once I start getting into business and learning more, I saw even more and more and more. Now, I know we talk about and you talk about from zero to wealth. Can you walk us through and what that means to you and what that should mean to the audience and how they can start implementing that today?
Yeah, for me, it's financial freedom, financial independence. Uh,
Got it.
Wealth to me is something that is earned. I think people don't respect money as much as they should, and when you respect money, you know it respects you. So
Correct.
you've got to, first of all, become a bigger container because God won't give you more than you can handle. So
Mm,
your goal is to become a bigger container by educating yourself on many
got
different things. Number two, make sure that you got the right vehicle. And number three, make sure it supports the lifestyle you want. Because I love teachers. A teacher changed my life in fourth grade. Mrs. Martis, she changed my life, gave me the confidence to sing in front of the choir and then become a soloist. And she changed my life. She gave me confidence, which is
right.
what you need to succeed. And
Yeah.
but I know for a fact that my friends that are teachers don't make a lot of money. So what I'm saying to everybody is, if you own a business, look at your business, streamline the business, and then if you can do a side hustle, like find
Got it.
something else that can bring in cash flow if your business is not generating the kind of money you want.
Mm.
Now, should you ever stop the whole process or should you continue on and on and on? When do
What
you know when enough is enough?
Oh, well, I think it's your mentality. Everybody's different.
Got it.
I
Okay.
do what I do because I love what I do.
Hmm.
I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love it. I found my mentors invested their life into my life, and I figured that I need to invest. It would be a sin for me not to invest my life into others, and that's why I do mentoring and coaching and speaking. I mean, I've done already this month. 9 engagements speaking,
Wow.
and last month I did seven, and the month before that. So people are talking about events. They're not as big as they used to be. My events that I spoke at were 20,000 people, 10,000 people. Now they're like, from 250. Well, some of the masterminds are 80 to 110, but regulars are 250 to 900 people. That's amazing with everything
Yeah.
we've been, right?
And again, you know what? It's not even about the size anymore. It's like very few people now take the time to develop themselves. That's what I've been seeing. Yeah, we have, and the thing is that we have so much ability to find things on YouTube and online, and people think that that's enough, but they don't see like what you said before. Always look for someone that's already been there. I mean, we get so many posters that come online and talk about different things that, okay, this is the way you do it. But if you actually look into them, they've never been there. They don't know how to do it.
Right.
So, and that takes me to the next point is between wealth and rich. A lot of people claim to be rich, and yeah, they may have some money, whatever they bring in, but they don't know how to use it. They haven't created that wealth or that wealthy mindset. They haven't created, like you're saying, different streams of income. Like to you, what is the difference between being wealthy and being rich?
Wealthy to me is multiple streams of income. And multiple streams of income is not another job.
Yeah.
Multiple streams of income is not a job. It's not another job. Multiple streams of income is money while you sleep.
Mm.
If you
Wow.
make money while you sleep, you're wealthy. Rich is people that have companies that they give them a nice big salary or they make a salary and they have some stock options and they're spending money and they're just like having a blast, which is great.
Yeah.
But I think to become wealthy, you have to let your money grow. So I believe in that. My acronym for my book, Get Real, Get Rich. The R is recurring income. Do the work once, get paid again, again, and again. The E is equity. When you can, let things grow. The A is appreciation. Let things build. And the
Yeah.
L is leverage. Got to leverage. And what you leverage is other people's time, other people's contacts, and other people's money.
Wow.
Mm.
So a lot of people have a lot of money, but they don't want to go do the work. Like I know people that are Airbnb wholesalers, flippers, and it's been a little tough for the flippers lately because they were
Yeah.
overpaying and
Wow.
wholesaling. However, they're still making money. but a lot of them are using other people's money so they can have more cash flow. And you can find people that have money that don't want to do the sweat work, the sweat equity work. So it's important that you do that. But I would really tell everyone that just streamline everything, get ready, get educated, and get focused, and then look for opportunities. I mean, I was talking to a gentleman this morning, and right now there are 6,000 people behind on their mortgages in Miami alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just this month, by the way. Just this month. 6,000. He's a banker. He's a banker, and this is all he does. So I think there's going to be an opportunity also to do short sales, help these people keep their credit, and get them out of a bad loan and sell their house for them. But short sales, wholesale, Airbnb, find, fix, and flip, find, fix, and rent. Rents are going up. A lot of people won't be able to own, so rents are going up. So find some commercial. If you can't do commercial, do single family. But commercial's where the money is. Got more doors.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So Omar, you said something a few minutes ago that I want to touch on. You said, "Hey, broaden your cup when it comes to your money, right? When it comes to thinking about your money." So, one of my favorite things from one of my mentors that he says all the time is, money is jealous, right? If you're not talking about it, if you're not paying attention to it, it's going to go to someone or some business that is. And I love that quote, right? So, I encourage my family, my wife and I, we sit down on a weekly basis, and we have meetings about money, right? About where we are, where we want to go. And this isn't something that I see a lot of people do. A lot of my peers, this isn't something that they do, right? They don't have that constant interaction, that conversation with their loved ones, with their family members, or depending on your business, with your partners about money. That's how you're going to get a real grasp on it. And we need to treat it like it's a jealous person, right? We need to pay a lot of attention to it, talk to it, and make sure that it's talking back to you. So I really like that.
I always say treat money with respect. If you don't treat it with respect, it won't stick around.
Absolutely.
Right? Your money doesn't stick around when you don't respect it. And a lot of people that start making money, they blow it, and they don't. It's okay to have fun and enjoy your life. I enjoy my life a lot, but it's also important to put a little bit away. Put a little bit away to keep going. My first goal when I was working at the age of 21 was to have 6 months put away of income so I wouldn't have to sweat it. And I did that. And then after that, I was with Oprah Winfrey and some people in Bahamas. Her niece got married there, and I heard her talking to some people, and I was right next to her, and they complimented my wife and her outfit and at the beach, and she was talking, and I was right next to her. She was saying that everybody needs a poor little. She calls it her poor little girl account, right?
Poor little girl account.
Yeah, she keeps at that time, which was 15 years ago.
Yeah,
I heard her say that she keeps like a certain amount of money in an account, so if anything ever happens, that she will never be a poor little girl, right?
little girl account. Okay, got it.
Another thing I thought that she said that was brilliant when I was sitting at the beach is she said that she never looks behind; she always looks forward. She never looks. She says, "Imagine if you're driving, when you look in a rearview mirror, you could be in an accident or you lose ground, right?" All the great drivers are always, the race car drivers are looking forward. They don't look in the back, right? That's why they got spotters, right?
Yeah. In sales, we call that rhino vision.
The
right?
rhino vision.
Marching forward, rhinos can't look back, and neither can we. So I love that.
Right.
So actually, great analogy. Let me add to that because actually, when I was back in California, I used to race vehicles. One of the trains that I went through was to NASCAR training. One of the things that they tell you first is never look at the wall, because if you focus on the wall, you will end up on the wall. Always look forward. Don't look to the side. Don't look to the back. Always look forward. And that's what we got to do in business, right? That's what we got to do in life. If whatever you focus, have you ever noticed that when people are start doing stupid things, let's just say that's the only pole in that parking lot, that's what they end up hitting? Have you seen that?
Tony Robbins says it at every event he has. What you focus on expands. If
There
you
we go.
focus on shit, you're going to get shit. If you focus on greatness, you're going to get greatness. And he says it at every event he does. What you focus on expands. The guy's very successful. You should listen to him.
I
Focus on
love
Is that Tony Robbins, is it?
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so creating wealth. As you say, do little different things. So let's just say today, someone in TikTok joined and actually wanted to know how they can get in touch with you. By the way,
Oh, they can go to my email. I'll just give my personal email. It's just my name, OmarPeriu at gmail.com.
all right.
Omar
So
Periu.
Omar, so TikTok and Instagram, Omar Periu at gmail.com. You said
Yeah.
Omar Periu
OMAR
at gmail.
RIU at gmail.com.
So
Yeah.
OMARPERIU at
At
gmail.com.
Mm.
All right,
So
so
Omar, oh
go ahead,
no,
go
go ahead, Carlos.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I was going to ask
Okay,
about
cool.
wealth.
This might be a little redundant, Omar, but in today's economy, what's going on after all that we've talked about recession? In your opinion, what do you really feel is the best way, the one best way for you to create wealth?
Well, the best way to create wealth is make sure if you have the cash, get ready for bargains, right? So look for bargains like businesses you can buy. I mean, there's a lot of men and women right now that have a business that's profitable, that are getting to the point that they want to relax. There's a lot of successful men and women from their 60s to their 80s. And in fact, I spoke with one today that wants to sell their business, but they want to sell it to someone that's going to keep it going. And so I would tell people, if you have the cash, look for deals that you can get a bargain and make money. Number two, find businesses or people that have a lot of equity and come in with a small down payment, and then be able to pay them back with their own money, and just do like a initial investment in the company, and then make payments to those people, and you'll pay them with their own money because the company's already profitable. I do 2 or 3 of these every 3 years. I do
Wow.
these. I love it. And by the way, I look for properties. I look for companies that own property. So if they have the real estate that they own with the business, that's
Yeah,
a real win for me.
that's
So I look
awesome.
for that. And then when you look at a business, if it's a little profitable, like say they're doing 1 million profit, like the net profit's 1,200,000, right? Look at the business and say, hey, you know what? These people, what could they do better? And you look at the whole picture of their business, and you look at marketing, branding, you look at sales, you look at customer service, you look at management, right? And you look at all these things, including customer service. Look at those spokes. And if you see there's an opportunity to come in and make that company better, I guarantee you within 3 to 5 years, you're going to make a nice profit on that company.
Nice, I love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That is awesome. All right. So in other words, what you're talking about is almost like a seller's finance what we do in real estate, right?
Yeah.
So
Like a lease option or a balloon payment, right? You put something down, you tell them you'll pay them within 5 years, and people love that because you got to offer them a little more money that you probably have to give them a little more money than you were offering. However,
Mhm.
you're able to say, hey, you're only getting 2% from the bank right now. What if I paid you, 7% for 3 years? Now you get in, you build a business and refinance it as soon as possible. Make sure there's no prepayment penalty in that balloon payment. And whether you do a 2 year, 3 year, or 5 year, you pay them off and get out. And now you own a business or with real estate, or company with real estate, and now
Yeah.
you're killing it.
Of course. So,
Genius.
something that you say is like make sure that if you have cash, make sure you put it to the side and be prepared, right? But
Right.
another thing that what we could do is in order to create cash. I mean, we all hear, and if you ever invested into real estate, you always hear OPM, all the
Right.
people's money. You know what? That credit is OPM too. It's not your money; it's the bank's money. As a matter of fact, it's your money because you just gave it to the bank and bank gave it back to you at a higher rate. So it's still OPM. But what I'm trying to say is that you have credit, and if you see the massive companies, the Amazon, the Google, I mean, you name it, all these big companies. What do they do? They sitting on cash, billions of dollars, and what do they do? They still borrow debt. Why? Because with credit, with debt, you are able to not only now create more money for your business, but now take your cash and invest it for your company, for yourself, or whatever the case is. So what I'm trying
That's
to
true.
say is,
No, it's true, Carlos,
so
because I know for a fact
mhm,
where the two places that I live,
yeah,
there's a lot of wealthy men and women, and they never use their own money.
never.
They negotiate great loans, and like you said, that's why you got to have great credit. You got to clean up your credit, whether it's personal or business, because then you're going to get a better rate and more money, and then you're able to go out and use other people's money to buy things. You know, and the more like I know a lot of people that have businesses, and they'll hold on to their cash as much as possible because they want to have that as a reserve for things to build.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Some good stuff, I Brock.
I love it. Yeah, no,
Uh,
no. Good.
So, wealth. So, yeah, we talk about rich and talking about wealth. One of the main things is the big difference right there is, I mean, for example, people that win the lottery, they become rich overnight. They don't know how to use it, and I think that's one of the main reasons why people in this country still need to learn, and we all need to learn. And we don't learn this in school. We're not taught how to balance a check, how to use a credit card, how to have our money work for our money. And that is the advantage that a lot of wealthy people have, because like me, like now I'm thinking completely different, and I'm teaching my kids. And honestly, we're making money, and 90% of that I am going to use. I'm not going to give it to my kids. I'm going to leave about 10 of that, 10% of that, but I'm going to leave something even bigger for them, because money comes and go. But if you know how to make it, sky's the limit.
Right.
The knowledge that you leave behind. So, and I know that you have two kids. What would you advise a parent today to teach their offsprings about money and wealth?
First, to respect it,
Mhm.
and money won't stick around if you don't respect it. It's kind of like a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Number two, teach them financial literacy. There's little books that you can pick up, like The Richest Man in Babylon. It's about $5, and
Nice.
you pick that book up, and it's a great little book. It teaches you how to about this man. There was this two guys, and the one guy became the richest man in Babylon, and how he did it. And just simple things like save 10% of your income every month, right?
Okay.
And do that and put that away so you have that kind of thing. But I don't think that people realize that uh, money is something that has to be studied in financial literacy, and you have
Yeah.
to pay attention to it. You got to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Uh, People don't pay attention to money, and because we've been told that money is the root of all evil, right? And it's not, because without money, my kids wouldn't have gone to the best private schools in the country, right?
Sure.
And they wouldn't be in the safest cars, and they wouldn't be at all these vacations and things that they remember. It's not the money; it's the experiences that you create with the money, right? So you want money is nothing but, well, your business is nothing but the vehicle that you choose to get you to the path of having your lifestyle.
Mm,
And
wow.
people don't get that. They don't get that. Like, I I I talk to a lot of people, and people say to me, "Well, what's the best thing I could do to make money?" And I say, "Well, first of all, find something you love, right? Find
Yeah.
something that supports the lifestyle you want. And number three, find something that nobody else. What is your unique selling proposition? What makes it so special, right? So
Wow.
you have something. People say to me, "Well, what are you?" I'm a PPS. I'm a professional problem solver.
Problem
So if
solved.
people come to me with a problem, I'm a PPS. I will, if I don't know it, I'll find out how to do it. And that's what I do.
That's
Be a
what's up.
PPS. If you're a PPS, people will pay you more. People will pay. They'll drive further. and people that are PPSs are experts at what they do. Those experts, they've done research. People will drive further, pay more to be with a PPS.
Be a PPS. Wow.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
and again, you always hear when people make wealth, people become wealthy, rich. When you find a solution for a problem, right? PPS, right?
Right, right. That's
How
what
we
you
use
said
that.
before. The people from the lottery, they've done research. Something like 67% of the people that win the lottery end up broke, and 29% of the 100% end up dead.
What?
So yeah, look it up. It's in
So,
my
so it's a
book.
death sentence to actually win the lottery.
Well, no, you gotta. The bottom line is if you win the lottery, who wouldn't want to? I
Yeah.
mean, you gotta like get a great CPA, a great attorney, and a great accountant, and a bookkeeper, and a great tax expert to lay it all out for you, and then give yourself money every year to live. Don't blow it, right? But look, we're most not everybody here listening, including myself, has won the lottery. So let's talk reality. Reality is find something you love. And believe me, when I talk about money, money's not the most important thing for me. The first thing is spirituality, right? That's number
Yes.
one for me. Number two is health. To get rich and sick is stupid. So health is the second one. I know a lot of billionaires that can't get out of their wheelchair. And these
Wow.
guys are the richest people in the world. And I go on his boat, and his boat's 225 feet, and he's sitting there, and he can't do anything. He's got all these beautiful people on the boat, but he's not participating, just sitting there enjoying watching people. You know,
Wow.
number three, happy. Be happy most of the time. We all got our own problems.
Yeah.
We got family, we got whatever. I lost my wife 5 years ago. Everybody's got their own shit, right? We all got
Yeah.
shit. Try to be happy most of the time. Zig Ziglar used to say, "Be happy 51% of the time. You're a success." Like,
Right.
nobody's happy all the time, and that's something that we see with the internet and all that. That people post what they're in their highlights. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been out with people and I see them taking pictures, and they're like just sitting there bored, and all of a sudden they're the most exciting group in town. It's like, but I'm just saying, don't base your life on social media
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff is baloney. And
Yeah.
and again, post the true happy points of your life and enjoyable. Don't And that's another thing. Don't compare yourself to anybody.
Mm.
That's the kiss of death. Never compare yourself. I have friends that are much bigger than me, much
Mhm.
bigger. But I know their life, and I could take every one of them right
Yeah.
now and just give you 5 things that you would not want to be like that person on every one of them. Because when you get
Yeah.
close to the fire, nobody's perfect, right?
True.
So
True.
people see people and they think their life is so perfect. Nobody has a perfect life. So again, spirituality, health, happiness, and then money. That's my fourth one, not first.
Yeah.
Money won't buy you happiness. Look, I lost my wife 5 years ago. She had a billionaire's life. She passed away of tragic accident. Why?
Yeah.
Because she was unhappy. She was unhappy. Beautiful woman, great mom, loved her, miss her, but she was
Wow.
unhappy. So you got to realize that. Look how many of these celebrities and singers that we lose every day, unfortunately, and
I-
young kids
Yeah.
that just don't have the love that they need. So everybody's got to love each other more and be kinder to each other.
No, no, and you brought up a great point. I mean, don't try to compare yourself to anyone. I mean, that's one thing that I tell my kids. Always try to be the best version of yourself. Like I tell
Yeah,
them, my hero is me a year from now.
right.
That's the hero that I'm looking at to right now. Like
Yep.
I'm
Stephen
what
Covey, begin with the end in mind, right?
there we go.
Stephen Covey used to say, begin with the end in mind. You want to be that guy a year from now. You already are, just so you know, Carlos and
Yeah.
Brock. But
No, it's
you
gonna be
know,
better. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better.
Yes.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have a little. It says PPS. I'm gonna put like a superhero. It's gonna be my hero. PPS, and I'm gonna get that shirt. I'm gonna
That's
get
my
that shirt,
shirt. That's for my
and I'm gonna
that's-
say Omar Periu on the bottom. I see.
Yeah. It says PPS, professional problem solver. You guys could use it. Just give me a little credit.
Oh, no,
You
you're gonna get it.
know, people, they start out, they say, hey, you know, Omar Periu said PPS, professional problem solver. And then the next week, it's like, you know, I heard somebody say, and then the third time, it's like, you know what I say?
You know what I'm gonna say?
It's gone. You just
Well, that's
lost.
me.
So I developed this.
Right.
I always give credit to all my mentors. I got lucky,
That's
you know,
awesome, man. That's
from
awesome.
Tom Hopkins to Brian Tracy to Zig Ziglar to Jim Rohn to Bob Proctor, you know, all these wonderful people that just my mentor Tom Murphy managed a lot of them. So I got lucky to have the right guys and gals mentor me and teach me to stay humble and
Yes.
be hungry. Like Les Brown says, you
That's
got to be hungry. Another dear friend. So it's very important that you realize stay hungry now in these times and find a vehicle and something that you like that will make you cash flow. Right now, it's about cash flow. Next 2 years, I want everyone to consider cash flow. If you have a great job or a great business, great. If you feeling it a little bit, get a side hustle. Find a side hustle. There's a lot of side hustles you could do that you could make extra cash flow, and maybe it ends up being your new entrepreneurial thing, the vehicle.
Of course.
So find a side hustle if you're not making the kind of money and cash flow you need in your business.
Amazing. All right,
Love it.
Omar. Brock, you got anything else for Omar?
No, I don't. I'm, blown away as usual, Omar. It's always a pleasure to have you on here, man. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
So one of the things that I gotta say is it's not easy to get from zero to wealth, but as long as you apply yourself and you do the little things every single day that will compound over time, you'll see the results. And I've seen it in myself. I've seen it in the people that I surround myself with, as you see. The way that we're going is the little things that we do every single day, and it's not easy. You just gotta apply yourself, but everybody can do it.
Right.
If I could do it, everybody over here can do it. So,
That's right.
guys, I'm gonna leave you with this. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Omar, for being with us. Thank you,
Thank
for
you,
always.
Brock. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for having me. Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
for gracing us with your presence and the knowledge that you have, because this is years and now. This is compound, man. This is a couple people put together in one. Amazing brain, man. Thank
Whole
you.
bunch of lives here.
Whole bunch of lives.
Yeah.
You resurrected a couple times.
25 best-selling books, 44 audios.
Amazing.
I'm on everything. Audible, Udemy, iTunes, Teachable, you name it, Ucore, I'm everywhere.
Amazing.
I love it. Hey, Omar, before we get off of here, again, for those who maybe have just joined us, how would they get a hold of you if they're interested in some mentorship or some training?
Well, I'm not the techiest guy, so you could do two things. I would just email my email, omarperiu@gmail.com, or you can go on my website, omarperiu.com, and you hit one-on-one coaching with Omar, and it's got a little thing you fill out, and it comes to us.
Love
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Once again, guys, thank you for everything. Thank you for the questions. We're definitely going to be answering those. Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Brock. Okay.
it. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, guys.